It's the Hallswell Cafe. Yep. So we'll go back to that afterwards, after things. But I'm now moving that the public be excluded from the following parts of the proceedings of this meeting for the items listed. Overleaf, that's useful.
We have to give an exception to Tom Hooper, who's actually going to be employed.
Yes, and we just need to leave Mike here for the first clause. Mike, if you want to stay, you're very welcome. And Tom Hooper for one of the other clauses if we get to do it. Andrew?
I've got a question on the reasons for the exclusion of the public. Not so much around whether the public should be excluded, but the when the report can be released column. Item 44, provision of financial advisory services, 2 years after the expiry of the agreement. Now, that could be a long time into the future on a matter where there's likely to be significant public interest. And given that on the second item, withholding the information is necessary to enable the council to conclude negotiations with the preferred supplier, you would assume that the negotiations are completed by the time the supplier starts work. So 2 years after the expiry of the agreement, and the agreement could of course run for some time, maybe a long time into the future, and I'm guessing there'll be significant public interest in this at some point in the future.
Yeah. Is there any reason why it is that late? That long? It's this one.
Because of the, it's really about the commercial activities. I wonder if what we would have to do around the capital lease program anyway is to report on expenditure and the process around it. It's really because we're identifying somebody specifically, that's all.
Can I just suggest that we amend that, or such earlier time as is possible, because I tend to agree with Andrew on that. I think there will be public interest in it. So can we just check what is possible and amend it that way? So Chris, in 44, the provision of financial advisory services, it reads 2 years after the expiry of the agreement or such earlier time as is possible. Okay, so the resolution to go into public, Yanni, you seconding? No?
Do ask that you could put item 43, I think it is. Sorry, just...
In public?
43. Do it separate. I don't support it being in PX.
What, Brad? You're going to pull it, so it's not going to come.
We have to vote on that.
That's all right. That's all right. We're
voting to go into PX or not. I'm just saying I can't see any reason why it needs to be in PX. In fact, I think it's actually got a huge amount of public interest and should be debated in public. So that's completely separate to whether we vote on whether we pull it or not.
I'm going to have to go with the I haven't got a plain English reason for that one, actually. Is there one? The Christchurch Development Authority. However, if it is likely to be pulled, I think we'll debate that then. I haven't got a good reason to undo their legal advice, Yanni, and I haven't got a lawyer on hand either. Well, I don't know that, so I'm struggling. Given that we have to come back out of public excluded anyway, perhaps we could find a lawyer somewhere in the building or their building down the road and get some advice en route.
And I couldn't see any reason why 38 needs to be in PX either.
Yes, it does, I think, at this stage.
It's mainly political, it's not.
Well, there's quite a lot of mistakes in it too. It needs correcting.
Okay, well, I'll have...
We'll put the information out as soon as we possibly
So if you could put those resolutions separate, or those
Okay,
two.
right. Okay, so can I move to go into public excluded except sections 43 and 38? I'm just moving all the rest at the moment, seconded by Phil. Those in favour, please say aye. I'm actually moving that we go into public excluded for everything, but I'm going to put 43 and 38 separately.